What?
Hi everybody, it's a rainy, dark weekend, so what better activity to do than to get in the kitchen and make some comfort food. But not just any comfort food. We're going to make donuts, and not just any donuts, but we're going to make donuts that have mashed potatoes in them to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Now I know what you're thinking, really, who puts mashed potatoes in donuts? But really, they are excellent. It adds a great texture to the donuts, makes the crumb really nice and makes them moist. So I'm going to show you how to do it in under 10 minutes. So you're going to start here with 1 cup of hot mashed potatoes. Put them in your bowl, add to that 2 tablespoons of butter, and mix it up. And because the mashed potatoes are hot, they have to be hot, otherwise the butter isn't going to melt into them. Mix that right up. Hopefully, can my handsome cameraman see that? Mix those right up. I guess that's a yes. Okay, and to that, we are going to add 2/3 of a cup of sugar. Add that right in there. Stir that all up. Now you can use a stand mixer if you want to, but I'm just going to use a bowl because it's and a spoon. It's just as easy to do it by hand. To that, you're going to add 2 eggs. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you a little bit, of course, about the history of donuts. Mix those eggs right up in there. There we go. So donuts have been around since about the 19th century. The Dutch claim that they were the ones who invented them, and they called them oily cakes. And if I were Dutch, I'd be saying oily cakes. That's for you, Beth. Stir in that flour, but I'm not Dutch, so I'm just going to call them donuts. They were also discovered in the Southwest, fossilized. Apparently the Native Americans made donuts as well. You can see this dough is pretty stiff. To that, before I stir too much more, I am going to add in 1½ teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a good amount of nutmeg. And I also added mace. The recipe didn't call for that, but I added it because it smells really good. I like to grate my nutmeg. I have this little grater, and that's what a whole nutmeg looks like. You just grated it. It smells really, really good, but if all you have is just the regular stuff that's powdered, that's fine too. Okay? Mix that all up. It's a very, very stiff dough. Don't worry about it. It's supposed to be. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like. So now there's another story about donuts, and my friend Mary, who lives in Maine, will be able to tell me if this is true or not. But legend has it that Captain Gregory, a sea captain, was embarking on a long sea voyage, and his mother made him donuts. And while he was out at sea in a terrible storm, he had a donut in one hand and the steering wheel in the other, and he was forced to take his donut and just stick it on the prong of the wheel so that he could use 2 hands to steer the boat. I don't know if that legend is true, but it's a good story and I like it. The other story about donuts, which may also be true, I'm not sure because I wasn't there, is that they were made whole with nuts in the middle, and people didn't like those, so they just took them out, and hence the donut. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of flour. That's a lot of flour. I'm going to move it all over, put it on my counter like that. I'm going to take the dough out, put it on the counter here. Now, people don't like donuts because they think they're bad for them and they think they're fattening, but I'm here to tell you that a bagel has 450 calories and the much maligned donut only has 300. And because I'm making this at home, I know what's in it, I know it's healthy, so it's not probably something that you should have every day, but don't feel guilty about eating it. So knead it out just a little bit, then take a rolling pin. I have a marble rolling pin that I really like because it's heavy. I got it at a yard sale for $1. My point is, you don't have to use anything fancy. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Roll it out to about a ½ inch, like that. Make sure you use plenty of flour because the dough's pretty sticky, and you want to be able to get the donuts up once you roll them out. I'm going to add a little bit more flour in there. And it's kind of messy, but who cares? All right, roll them out like that until they're... And the mashed potatoes, believe it or not, they're fully incorporated. No one will even know. Okay, I'm going to use a biscuit cutter. There is such thing as a donut cutter. There's 2 concentric circles, one smaller inside the other. I don't have one. I went to a bunch of different stores. I don't think that many people make donuts anymore, so I'm going to improvise with my biscuit cutter. And I'm just going to go around the edge of the dough like that and cut those out. And I am going to improvise. I'm just going to use a little paring knife here and cut out the center because you've got to have a hole in the center of your donut. And then you can just shape it with your fingers like that. They don't have to be perfect. Remember, this is just homemade cooking. It doesn't have to be perfect. And pull it up like that. A little more flour there so they don't stick. Another one. Let's do 4 of them at one time. Make a little hole, stretch them out a little bit. There we go. My family has begged me to mass produce these, so in my spare time, I'll start a donut factory in my kitchen. Okay, I'm just going to use my fingers and poke a little hole in there. Okay, moving right over here, I've got oil that I've heated to 360 degrees. You can see it's really, really hot. The hotter the better. Obviously, you don't want it to burn, but you want it good and hot. I use this little electric fry pan, but if you have a Fry-Later, you can use it. I just like this better because I have more control over it. You can also use a regular frying pan if you don't have one. Just make sure that you don't scald yourself. So just carefully, I'm going to just lower those donuts. You get a shot of those, Lem? I'm going to lower those donuts right into the oil, like that, being careful not to splash it on myself. Like that. And if you could smell these, unbelievable. Okay, to turn these, I think the best thing to use is a chopstick, but you can use whatever you like. Just take that chopstick, turn them. Again, you don't need any fancy kitchen materials. Can you see how golden brown those are? Those look really, really good. They don't take long either. Just flip your little munchkins like that. Here comes another one. A little powdered sugar on these. And you're ready to go. Voila, donuts. So get in the kitchen, make some donuts. Life is too short. Enjoy them and eat them without any guilt. Oh, and one more thing. We like to serve these with Fog Buster coffee. This is a very popular item in my house as well. It's got a rich chocolatey taste. It doesn't have that burned flavor that a lot of the French roast coffee has, and it's fair trade coffee, so you know the people who are picking it aren't getting ripped off, and they're local roasters out here in Massachusetts somewhere. So eat your donuts without guilt, drink your coffee without guilt, and enjoy. Bye.